Hi, I'm Lee Herbert, and we've had a lot of questions from our previous video. Most of them about my hair, so I've tried to style it a bit. Hope you're happy. But that's not why we're here today. Today we're here to talk about IDX batteries. And you might go, well, batteries, how exciting can that be? But there's some really cool features of these batteries that make them really useful. So we've got two sort of different sets of batteries. Let's jump into it. The first one that I want to look at is these ones here. And you might be looking at going, well, that's a big chunk of battery. Well, this is actually 3 batteries. And the really cool thing about these ones, which are the PowerLink batteries, are the fact that you can connect up to 4 of them in one go. So to begin with, they work with charging. So when you're on the big charger, you can have 4 of them plugged in one go and have all 4 of them charging. Now, they won't charge at the same time. They will charge from the top one down. So the top one will charge and the bottom one, the bottom one, the bottom one. But the cool thing is you plug them all in, pull one out when it's finished, and it just keeps going. That onward going charging works on your camera as well. So you could have 4 of these. I mean, your camera would be a bit heavy at the back, so maybe 2 or 3, but you can have 4 of these plugged into the back of your camera, and when the one at the end of the chain runs out of juice, you just pop it off, pop it in the charger, and your camera keeps going. So that's a really cool feature. Now, I probably wouldn't use 4 at a time. I'd probably just use one of these, and you can obviously use regular batteries as well. So it's just a standard V-lock on the back. So that's kind of the setup that I would have normally. So having the ability to pop them into each other is really useful. But there's some other really cool features and some really clever things that IDX has done with these batteries. So to begin with, the size. So this is a 150 watt battery, and they also have a 98 watt version as well. So here is the 98 watt version, here is the 150 watt version, and you'll notice that they're quite small compared to some of the bigger batteries that you have out there. So for example, this is a no-name 98 watt from another brand, and yes, I have wrapped it in toilet paper because I want to show off how rich I am, but you haven't come here for social commentary, so let's move on from that. So there's a 98 watt in another brand, and here's 98 watt in the IDX one, so it's already smaller, which is pretty cool. And here is 180 watt from another toilet paper brand, and here is the 150 watt from IDX. So the size is really good. So why is the size important? Well, for those of us who travel, and we will be traveling again, when you get on a plane, you want to fit as many of these in your bag as possible. So being able to fit in more because they're smaller is really good. Something to be aware of with the 98 and 150, and different airlines have got different policies. Generally, with most airlines, they will only allow up to 2 150 watt ones per person, and they'll allow just sort of as many as you like of the 98 watt one. And there's actually a QR code on the back here with an airplane symbol where you can scan the QR code to get the terms and conditions of what the battery is allowed and what's not allowed on the plane. So those are some cool things. But then within the actual batteries, there's some pretty cool features that I'm excited about. So to begin with, obviously you've got the standard, button to check your levels and so on. But another cool thing that the button does is it actually turns on this torch at the back of the battery. Now you might think, well, why in heaven's name, just double click and there's your torch. But you might think, why in heaven's name would you want a torch on the back of a battery? Well, if you're trying to attach these batteries in the dock, you can sort of do it by feel, but it's a lot easier to have a little bit of a light so you can see where the attachment is. Also, if this is in your bag and you want to quickly find something, yeah, you could pull your phone out, turn the torch on, whatever, but if the torch is already on something that's in your bag, just double click, torch comes on, and away you go. So the torch, I think, it's a little thing, but it's a nice little feature that they've thought of, which is practical, and I really like practical things. The final thing to look at with these batteries is the DTAP and connectors. So you've got a USB connector here, which allows you to obviously plug things via USB, so if you want to charge things up on USB. You've also then got your standard DTAP connector, so if you want to run like monitors or lights or things like that, you can also run them off that DTAP. But there's another DTAP on the other side, and I forget what it's called. It's like Super DTAP or something like that, and you can see it's different because it's got blue on it. And what that does is it actually allows you to charge this battery off of a DTAP adapter that you can get for it. So that's a really cool feature. The fact that you might not want to schlep this whole big charger with you when you're going somewhere else, and you want to go small and light, you can just bring the little adapter. Obviously this charges 2 or 4 at a time, and the adapter charges just 1, but it's a really clever little thing. The last bit that I want to look at with these IDX batteries, and these are different models, is IDX. Everyone's doing the little ones now, so it's great that IDX has those options, and they are really little. So again, this is the 98 watt, this is the 150 watt, I believe. Yep. So 150, 98, and again, we'll compare those to, here's the 98 watt in the big connector ones, 98, so much smaller. It does also have a single DTAP and the blue charge it up over DTAP 1 for these ones as well. So even on the little one, you've got those features. You've also got the torch, so you just double click the button, torch comes on, double click, torch comes off, and I believe, yep, doesn't have a USB on that, but geez, who cares? Because again, you could pack so many of those, it's really handy. And again, comparing the 150 watt, so there's the 150 bigger one, there's a 150 littler one, and again, great size. So you've got some really great options from IDX. I'm a big fan. I've found them really useful, particularly the, being able to daisy chain the batteries. For example, I was shooting in a location a few months ago, actually last year, where it was a milk factory, so hygiene and sterile and all that kind of stuff. So we had to go in and sterilize everything on the way in, and we couldn't bring anything in after us. So I think I had 2 of those and 1 of those at the back, and we went in, and as we got in, we started shooting. We went to do a little bit of interview, and I realized I'd forgotten a battery for my light. And so being able to just pop one of these off out of the setup I had on my camera and add it to my light really saved my bacon, because otherwise it was going to be half an hour where I'd have to, unsterilize, get out, and then re-sterilize, get in, all that kind of stuff. So it really is practical and useful stuff that IDX has put into these batteries, and yeah, I really like them. So if you have any questions, not about my hair, but about the batteries, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, like, you can do the little bell thing. To be honest, do it if you want. I don't want to put any pressure on you. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.